Y'all, things just got real. Man, you know when you give your yes to God, you just do not know the price of that yes. But goodness, my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, this season here, Lord have mercy. Okay, so let me just get right to it. So let me see. Two, yeah. Okay, so I already posted that God told me to leave my job in December. I got my December of 2022. I got my final confirmation that God wanted me to leave my job. Put in my 2 weeks notice. January was my last month working at my job. Cool. When God told me to leave the job, He didn't give me any other instructions because He needed me to be obedient to that one instruction. Cool. We got it. So through this whole journey, God is just telling me to trust Him, to trust Him, trust Him, trust Him, trust Him, trust Him to provide, trust Him to lead, trust Him to guide me in whatever He is telling me to do. Just trust Him and wait for His step-by-step instructions. Cool. God, you told me to leave my job, so that means because you are Jehovah Jireh, I'm expecting to come through, and He has. I can't even lie. He has been coming through. Okay? Like, oh my gosh. He's been all of that. Like, I can't even lie. It still hasn't been easy because I'm used to knowing how bills are going to get paid with an income. But I don't have an income because he told me to leave my job. Cool. The business that I was trying to run told me to let him go. There was no fruit in it. They weren't, you know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. God, I'm trying. But He's like, yo, that's not what I want you to do. I need you to just trust me. Just trust me. So, you know, when of course, things get tight, you expect things to get tight. And that's what He has done. He has stripped me of all of my income so that I don't have a choice but to trust in Him. Cool. I got you, Big Daddy God. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. And so here we are. Car payment. You know, they were able to defer my payments for some time. Car insurance got canceled. Then unexpected money came in. I was able to pay that. And then I'm like, the credit union that I'm with, they worked that thing out to a T. Like, they have really, really been working with me. And I'm grateful for that. I'm just like, God, surely you're going to come through. You're going to make it so that this car is paid off. Like, I'm praying, believing you for debt cancellation. Like, you're going to just work a miracle because that's who you are. You're a wonder working God. You're a miracle worker. Like, you can do all things but fail. It sounds so good. And he works a miracle. And when I tell y'all, the way that He handled this situation is nowhere near what I expected Him to do. It's not how I wanted Him to answer it. Let's just say that. It is not how I wanted Him to answer it, but I wanted Him to have His way. I said, God, you know, I'm praying for this, praying for that, but have your way. Let your will be done. So I'm just like, okay, God, I'm applying for jobs, not getting any. I mean, I had like a couple of interviews, but for the most part, I'm getting denial letters. Oh, we decided to go with another candidate. Of course you are. Because why? Because God is just keeping those doors closed. Look, I'm just like, look, at any moment, you are going to step in how I want you to step in. But no. That's not how it works. Not when you are walking with God. Not when you give Him your yes. Not when you totally surrender. Not when you are saying, Lord, have your way. Let your will be done. Not my will, but your will. When you saying all these things that sound so good in the moment until you are expected to walk that thing out. And that is where I am right now. So my loan company, they're calling me, hey, I mean, can we set up a payment arrangement? I'm like, I could set the payment arrangement up, but I'm telling you now, because I don't have any income, I'm not going to be able to keep the payment. Is there anyone that you can ask for money? I'm like, I can see what I can do, but you know, they already helping me out in other areas. So they're just like, okay, because you know, we don't want you to get 3 payments past due. I'm just like, I don't want to get 3 payments past due. I didn't want to get 1 payment past due. This is not what I saw coming. And so I remember a while back, I had said something about releasing what is in your hands. Stop trying to hold on to things so that God can put in your hands what he wants you to have. I did not know that I was speaking to myself. So I went into prayer and fasting, and I would just, you know, lifted up my car situation to him, and I started praying, fasting, and was just like, Lord, I just need you to work a miracle. I need somehow for this car to be paid off in full, whatever. And you know, God used you the first time. And so I gave it to him. And of course, I worried about it a little bit. But, you know, I had to cast that worry out. And I had to know that at the end of the day, however God decided to answer, I know it was him. So during my time of fasting, I was reading. I have this, is it a commentary, not a commentary book, whatever the book is, it breaks down each book of the Bible. I guess you could say it gives you commentary, but I forgot what book of the Bible that I was reading. But what stuck out to me is that in this book it said that when you are asking and believing God for something, he gives you your answer, but it's not in the way that you expect him to answer. I hope that makes sense to y'all. I really hope that makes sense. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I had to get the book so it could make sense to y'all. So it was called Adventuring Through the Bible, and I was reading on Nehemiah. So I'm just going to read this part to y'all. And it says, let me see, where should I start? It says, notice that a plan is already forming in Nehemiah's mind even while he is praying. This often happens when we spend time with God in prayer. He speaks to us and gives us insight, ideas, inspiration, and empowerment to solve the very impossible problems that we brought before him through our tears. And so the problem, like I said, the problem that I brought before him was my car situation, you know, asking him to miraculously make that payment or whatever, you know, cancel this debt for me. And so during my time of prayer and fasting, whatever I just read, why it stuck out to me is because I just had this idea to sell my car. And I was like, okay, you know, that thought came out of nowhere, but I know that it was the Holy Spirit leading me into what God was instructing me to do. So that was like maybe a month ago, but I was like, I don't want to get rid of my car. Like I like to be able to go jump in my car, go as I please, or whatever. So I didn't sell the car right away because I was just like, you know what, I have a whole nother month. Let me see what can come up. I had a possible work from home position. It was more like a business situation, but it was a call center environment, and I wasn't able to do that because it would have tied up the phone lines. So, you know, that didn't work out for me. And I'm just like, okay, God, you just, for whatever reason, keep blocking everything that I try to do. Every door I try to walk into, you keep blocking it. So I was just like, what do you want me to do? And so what happened, I think I came across another lady. She had posted on social media, just talking about, you know, has anyone ever gone through a repossession or anything? And I was just like, oh my gosh, she's going through repossession. And then another lady commented, she's going, you know, facing through repossession. Another lady commented, and one of her cars had already been repossessed. And I was like, goodness gracious, God, you know, what is going on? And it started speaking to me, and I was like, yeah, I ain't trying to come into agreement with that, because your girl trying to keep her car. So I reached out to one of the ladies, and, you know, I was just I had asked her something about her repossession or whatever, because it hadn't reached that point yet. And she said she sacrificed the car back to God. She prayed about it. She started cleaning out her car as an act of faith. So I was like, okay, you know what? I was just like, as an act of faith, let me do that in case it comes to the point where they have to come get my car or I have to let the car go. So I started doing that, and I let that go. And then, but the thought of letting my car go never left my mind. So I want to say maybe a couple of weeks ago, I went ahead and, was it couple of weeks ago? Well, I had went ahead and got I was gonna try to sell my car, and I went to get a couple of offers to see what they would buy the car for. And I got offers, but I was like, you know what, I'm not really ready to sell it yet, because I wasn't 100% sure that that's what God wanted me to do, until I seen another lady post on social media, and she had commented under a video where the guy was, he gave an example of how God speaks to us. And what he was saying is that God, like, it was comical. So the first part of the video, God called the man's name. Let's just say his name was Joseph. He was like, Joseph. He was like, yeah, God. And so God was telling him, quit your job. He was like, okay, God. And then God gave him another immediate instruction. He was just like, quit your job, do this, and you're gonna, receive a lot of money. He was like, okay. So he moved quickly on that. But he showed another clip how God actually works. And when God speaks to you and gives you that one instruction, that's it. You don't hear anything else until he's ready for you to receive your next instruction. And so a lady commented under that, and she was just saying how God told her to let go of her main source of income and her car. And I was like, I have never, in all of my years on social media, ever seen anyone say that God told them to let go of their car. So I was just like, you know what? I know what Big Daddy God is telling me to do. And so it came down to it. I was like, Lord, give me one more confirmation. And I believe that was the last confirmation that I received. So I went ahead and got, three more offers. I think they were from the same people, to see who would give me the most for the car. And I think it was, I went to the dealership a couple of days ago, and he told, he looked over my car, said he was gonna, call me back with an appraisal. I spoke with him yesterday, and he was just like, he gave me the most, but it wasn't enough to pay off the car, where he said he was gonna speak to his boss about it, and he told me to come back today. So this morning I was reading this book that this lady had sent through my email. And in the book, she was just talking about you going through the fire, and how what you're going through isn't because of something that you did wrong. It's because of something you did right, which was my yes to God. So, as Christians, as children of God, we go through things because everything is orchestrated by God. If you know you're following in his will, yes, sometimes it will get rough. It's not always meant to be easy. But we're victorious, so we're gonna come through it. And so I was reading that book today, and she was just giving her testimony on how God told her to let go of certain things, and her car was one of them. And I was just like, Lord, thank you for confirming that I am in your will and I am doing exactly what you told me to do. So I went to the dealership, and because he was sure that his manager was gonna approve me for enough to pay off the car. And as soon as I walked in, I got a text message from him, and he said, the max that I gave you is the max that the manager is willing to go. He doesn't want to go above that. And so I was just like, well, I just walked in the door, so what we're gonna do. And so he ended up coming out talking to me, and he was just like, I'm gonna just go ahead and give you the max for it. And he made it happen. So yeah, y'all, your girl had to sell her car. But when I say I have so much peace, and that's how I know that it was God. Like, there was no toiling in my mind. Like, when he started speaking to me, like, deep down I knew that it was him speaking to me to let the car go, but I just needed that final confirmation. And when I look at all of the doors that has been shut with employment, it was like there was no other way around it. And I'm just like, yeah, this is a part of trusting God for whatever reason. But I know what we go through isn't always for us. So there is going to be someone that I speak to, maybe somebody on this, whoever watches this video, this will speak to you. It won't be necessarily for a car. I mean, he may not tell you to let go of a car. He might be telling you to let go of something else, walking away from something else, from someone or whatever. But you just have to know that when a God gives an instruction, it is important to be radically obedient. And that's what I am learning to do. It wasn't easy. Like yesterday I had a moment because I'm just like, Lord, you are really telling me to let go of my car? Like, this has never happened. Like, I have never been without a car, but I do live with my parents, so I will, be able to use their car if need be. But it's nothing like having your own. It's nothing like having your own. But this is where I am. So I'm just encouraging you. Hey, if God is telling you to let go of something, whatever it is, let it go. You have to trust the process. You have to go through it. You have to grow through it. I can't say that enough, because he knows best. And I have to trust that when I come out on the other side here on earth, that he's going to restore whatever he has taken from me. But this is the cost of saying yes. I mean, that's just what it is. That's the cost of saying yes. We all go through something. If you're willing and obedient to follow God, you're gonna go through something. You're gonna go through something, and everyone is not gonna understand it, and who cares? Everyone doesn't have to understand it, because your assignment is personal, and this is my assignment. So first of all, if they don't understand it, I don't care. It doesn't even matter. Like, I know for sure that I am in God's will, doing what he has told me to do. Yeah. So y'all just be encouraged, and don't look at it as losing. Look at it as gaining. I promise you, if you are a child of God, he is obligated to take care of you if you are in his will. If you are being obedient to him, he is going to come through. I can guarantee you. Like, I've seen his hand way too many times. Like, I've seen his hand too many times, not only in my life, but in the lives of people that I'm connected to, just hearing other people's testimony. And so you just have to trust him. I promise you, you're going to be good. You're going to be good. I promise you. Is it easy? No. Is it worth it? Yes. It sure is. It sure is. The cost of yes, we can't ever count the cost. Like, I don't even know what to say. But I know he has never failed me. He has never failed me. Like, he has kept me in perfect peace. Like, the way he has been using people to come through for me is just, I mean, it's like he's canceling that little by little. And so I look at it as a huge gain, because that's one less, actually that's two less bills that I have to worry about. I'm gonna say three, because with cars you have to do maintenance, you have to do gas, you have to do insurance, and right now I don't have to worry about any of that. So he's chiseling away at my debt. And that's why you got to be specific when you talking to him. I'm like, come on. When I ask you for debt cancellation, I don't mean tell me to get my car away. Like, you could have opened the heavens and dropped the money off, because I was close to paying off the car. But you know what? I'm not worried about it, because he's going to restore. He's a guy who restores. He replenishes. So right now, it ain't even about that. It's just about doing what he has called me to do, being in his will, being obedient, because I already know what he has promised me, and I'm going to hold tight to that promise. I'm going to keep reminding him of his word. Father, you said that. That's your word. You said that. And I'm going to keep reminding him too. Like, you can't go back on your word, because you honor your word above your name. Remember that? Yeah. But yeah, y'all, be encouraged. Get around people who will lift you up, who will encourage you. You don't always have to share your business with them. I mean, even if you do, you have those trusted voices, trusted people around you who will encourage you, who will lift you up. I mean, not people that's going to look at you crazy, talk down to you. And that's another thing. I had a disturbing dream last night. Listen, just pray about your connections. Ask God to reveal who you are connected to. Ask God to reveal to you their intentions, their heart. Ask God to expose them. Um, Ask God who you need to walk away from, and pray that He gives you the grace to walk away, because it is very important that you are connected to the right people, not only in this season, but for the rest of your life. So, I mean, I don't, the people, let me see, how can I say this? God will have you separated from people sometimes for a season and bring you back together. And then there are times where He'll just cut it off permanently, and it's like, no, that season has permanently ended. And so where I am right now, no, I think it's permanent for the people that walked away, but I don't know. That ain't my focus, to be honest. Right now, I'm just focused on those people that I know for sure are connected to me, and those people, whoever God sends. I've been praying for destiny helpers, destiny connections, kingdom connections. And so I'm just like, you do what you do, big bruh. You got this, you know? So, yeah, that's all that I got for today. Hopefully, y'all have been blessed. Hopefully, y'all have been encouraged by this. And be obedient. Go forward in what God has instructed you to do. And don't delay. Don't delay. Like, what did He tell you to do? Just go ahead and do it. Stop delaying. Like, when I got that last confirmation to let go of the car, I immediately started moving on those offers to see who could give me the most. Yeah, because the quicker I get through this season, the quicker I come out of this season and get to what He has. But you know what? I can't even rush Him. He won't let me rush Him anyway. But, you know, I'm just trying to be obedient to what He told me to do. And so, and I'm just waiting for His next instruction. So, yeah, y'all. Be blessed. I don't even know why I did that, but whatever. All right, y'all. Have a good night.